mean, I think having another teammate that went through an injury that kept him out for a year, knowing what it's like coming back from something and you're trying to, be yourself and trying to, get back to dominate the game the way you do. As he's done this year, I think the amount that he does in the game and night after night and the amount that he works, I think that load has to be watched. I believe it just, as you're climbing back, because I don't think you want any setbacks. And that's just from mine. I'm not in the medical rooms, meetings, or anything. That's just from mine. That's the way I take it. And I think he's extremely important to our team, as does everybody else. So, I mean, whatever he needs to do to continue to progress, I think we're behind him 100%.
How much can it help to have, like, one random night off over the course of, like, an NBA schedule for any player?
I think it does a way more mentally for you than physical, because you probably need more than one night half the time. But I think the mental side of it, just giving a chance to take a breather and not try to figure out if something's nagging you, how you're going to get yourself going, or how I'm going to be able to play through this or that, or not get hit, or if I fall, how's it going to feel, and things like that. So I think the mental side of it is definitely not talked about enough as far as that rest. And you think about a guy like Kawhi, who in every facet of the game has so much on his mind, what he's playing through, and the double teams, and guarding the best guy, and coming down the stretch and trying to make plays for everybody. I think that helps him a lot.
For you personally, is there any advantage, you think, to not playing as many minutes as you would like or used to?
I mean, I think it just helps keep you fresh. It allows you to continue to work too on days like today. You don't have to really worry about your load when you're in a situation like that. I mean, and it kind of changes your approach in the game some nights too, because it's like I have no excuse not to give it everything I've got. There's no pacing yourself. And you let the game come to you. And most nights you don't get tired anyway once you fall into the game.
How do you think the Kings have kind of finally turned things around after a lot of years of struggling this year?
A lot of youth, a lot of confidence with those young guys. I think the head of the snake, De'Aaron Fox, has been a big part of that. And those other guys just playing with a lot of energy. And I think Shump's come over there and provided some toughness and some grit and a little bit of veteran presence from being on some winning teams in Cleveland and things he's done. I think they're just kind of, they understand the big picture of it. They understand that there's going to be some growing pains, but they also understand that they can compete with anybody. And I think they come out every night and they give it everything they got. And the things they're coming short on aren't things of physical nature, it's just experience. Guys haven't been in situations and learning to play in spots yet.
Did you benefit in any way from the games that you sat out and were watching and studying? Did you take from those at all?
The biggest, it's the mental side for me, the same thing, because I was struggling, and it helped me, mentally grasp what I was trying to do. And it gave me a chance to kind of slow everything down, watching film, watching games, and for myself personally, it gave me a chance to take a breather. And every day you're obsessed with how am I going to fix it, how am I going to fix it. It gave you a chance, knowing that there was a date 5 days from now, whatever, that's expected to be reevaluated to come back. Okay, so I got 5 days to kind of decompress, figure out what's going on, how can I continue to get better in that time I'm off and be ready when I come back. And that's what it did for me. The biggest thing was just take that load off and just kind of breathe and step back into the game like it was the first game of the season.
So what was different for you in those last 2 games? Did you see something when you reviewed the film?
Just slowing down, understanding the pace, playing with a purpose and pace, but not being too fast. And I think I was able to just see things at a good speed, but not to the point where it was everything at once. And I think that was the thing I was trying to do in the beginning and before these 2 games. And there's still a lot of work I got to do, a lot of things I'm still trying to get better at. But my biggest thing is just, step at a time. And as long as it steps forward, it doesn't matter how big it is.
CJ, coincidental or not, the last 2 games, first time you got the ball, each time you went right to the basket. Coincidental or
No.
no?
Taking advantage of how people play me and, trying to just use every attribute that I have, size, strength, things that I worked so hard to be able to do that during the season. And I'm just trying to make sure I keep it even, and that way it makes everything else easier. I know the first thing guys, when they come in the game, is run them off the line. So I'm going to beat you to it. I'm going to run by you. And then at the same time, just trying to make the right reads.
When you come up against a team that has the pace like the Kings do you try and slow them down, or do you try and keep up with them?
I think there's a balance. You got to play your game. I think the biggest thing is always what's in your locker room first. You know what they're going to try to do, and I think you don't let them dictate it. I think the biggest thing is getting stops and running in opportunity, making sure that when you're running, that you're in control of it. It's not just getting shots up because they're getting shots up. I think it's all about the game plan and what you can take from them and continue to play to our strengths.
Busy day yesterday. Outside of the hockey game, which was amazing, even though they lost. So hopefully I didn't bring any bad luck to them, but it was very exciting, interesting, for the first time seeing it live, how fast everything is moving. So, but yeah, I got to see some of the scores of the games and some of the tough calls that were made or missed. So yeah.
First time at an NHL game?
Yes. Yep. We didn't have that in San Antonio.
No.
Yeah.
You're from Long Island, though?
I am from Long Island. When I was a kid, I didn't go to many professional games at all. Chapel Hill, we didn't have any NHL near. I don't think so nearby anyway. But first one. They were there the whole time.
He's old, so I don't think so.
How far is that on Raleigh?
You don't go down there, right?
No, not much. No, we don't really. We don't leave Chapel Hill much, man.
Have you spoken to any of the Leafs or the team, or do you have a relationship?
Actually, yeah, we've met a couple of them. They've come to watch our games. They've come to the locker room and spoken to them. Actually, supposed to have one of them join the podcast one of these days. Want to give anything away?
I'm going to say spoilers.
So yeah, be a surprise. Hopefully we get them on soon. They play a lot of games just like we do, so it's tough working schedules out. But looking forward to talking to them, interviewing one of the guys, and seeing their routines and discussing life of hockey.
Some of them are pretty big NBA fans, I think. A couple of them.
I think most sports people that are sports fans are big fans of what they don't do, because we're good at something. We're wondering how somebody can become so good at something else, and we wish we were that good at that too. So it's kind of like when you're a basketball player, you want to be a rapper or a singer, or when you're a singer-rapper, you want to be like an athlete, or when you're a football player, you kind of want to learn how to play baseball. And you wonder how their craft. Everybody respects each other's crafts and kind of want to be well-rounded and add more things to their repertoire.
Let's talk about Kawhi's rest nights. What's your sort of take on it? How much do you think those nights off help?
I think they help a ton. For everybody, whoever can get a day off, it's big. Put money in the bank, especially for the future, and playing for the playoffs and a playoff spot for some teams, most teams. But so we're playing for April, May, and June. We're not playing for right now. But he's getting older. He's getting old, so you got to take a couple of days here and there.
Moving in the West, there's a couple certainties. Usually the Spurs are going to be really good and the Kings are going to be really bad. Are you kind of happy to see they kind of turn things around? I mean, it's been a long time since they've been kind of good. The young guys they have.
Yeah, they've been playing great. Up and down pace, a lot of potential young guys shooting it. So they're a team you have to respect in this league, regardless of what their record is, because of how well coached they are and how fast-paced, how they get up and down. That's a lot of teams this day and age. Everybody's getting up and down shooting a three ball, so you got to be prepared for that. And any given night, you can lose.
Do you feel like the league's got a lot faster since you got in it?
For sure.
I feel like Darren Fox,
I just think it's maximized or used to its full potential now. I don't say that guys weren't fast back then. I just think that some teams slowed the game down and played inside. Some teams didn't, but I think every team now is trying to get up and down and play small ball and be more perimeter oriented. So I think the speed of the game is definitely maximized. There's more up and down possessions than there were in the past, probably.
A kid like Fox, people say he might be the fastest in the league.
Roadrunner, probably is.
How much pressure does that put on a defense? Just the fact that he can get from point A to B 90 feet faster.
A lot, because it takes more than one person to guard him. The whole team has to be aware back and then see where he's at and kind of contain him. If you turn your head or blink your eyes, he might be at the rim.
Should the NBA go to first three and overtime wins it?
First three and overtime
wins it?
No, but we used to do the 2 minute in the G League, and that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. I didn't, it kind of kept the game right on edge the whole time as it had been for the end of the game. That was pretty good.
Did you catch anything from watching playoff football like that? And your situations, thoughts go through your head, just kind of relating to what you do?
Saw one big play that, but I've already seen it and believe in it in football that can translate to basketball. That I won't tell you what it is. But I love, obviously, as any of us do, watching the strategy of, timeout, no timeout, how they getting it up, what are they going to do, going for it or not going for it, and I don't know. I second guess them all the time too, right? It's half the fun of it.
Do you prefer playing until someone wins instead of first touchdown overtime, or in like penalty kicks in soccer or something like that, decide a championship?
I love penalty kicks in soccer. It's awesome, but I certainly like playing till somebody wins. I don't like going to some big event and walking away with a tie, right? A few too many soccer games like that in England. It's not very fulfilling.
What? Kawhi wasn't around today. Can you give us any more information on that?
Yeah, he was in a scheduled kind of maintenance checkup today, and good time for 2 days in between this time of year, and that's it. He'll be back here tomorrow.
OG status.
Huh?
OG status.
OG status is, I think he's en route back, isn't he? Yeah, he's en route back, and we're hoping he's here sooner rather than later.
When you look at a guy like Darren Fox, how much pressure does pure speed put on a defense?
Well, he's Coach Yeager's done a good job of figuring out this guy's fast, right? Because I mean, this year, he was there last year and you didn't say that about him, but this year, this guy's blindingly fast, right? So they've obviously upped their speed overall. They get the ball up long outlets, just constantly putting it on you. And when you have one guy that's kind of driving that engine, it does put a lot of pressure on you. And it's the amazing thing is you see how many baskets or layups he makes after baskets, right? So it's any relaxation at all, whether it goes out of bounds or after a basket or whatever, your team's in kind of scramble mode back defensively.
Do you think maybe, is he one of those guys that maybe changes some of those fundamentals, where maybe you jam him up in the backcourt if you can to sort of make him go sideways?
Yeah, I think he's a guy, if you were seeing him more often, you might think about tweaking some of your beliefs, right? I know what you're talking about, instead of everybody sprinting back and 5 guys back and nobody rebounding and all those kind of old school thoughts that we do, real safe ones that we do. Maybe putting a couple guys up and trying to jam him in the backcourt is pretty interesting. It's interesting to think about, and I've tried some things like that in the past where I've, it's I don't know what we'd call them, but we'd kind of shadow a couple guys, maybe put 2 guys up there to see if he'd just go ahead and give it to somebody else, and at least he turns and sees 2 bodies and kind of stops for a second, and you've kind of won the battle sometimes on that if he's not just peeling around there full speed.
Do you think your transition defense is trending in the right direction?
I'd like to think it's trending in the right direction, but as with everything, right? I feel like our defensive rebounding was really trending in the right direction, and then we just have a big step backwards in something. Our end of game execution was trending in the right direction, and you take a step backward. So so trending is probably the right word, but you're never all the way home with any of that stuff. So we're gonna have to be really ready transition defense wise.
How do you think your young guys can learn from the young core that they've developed in Sacramento?
I don't know if they can learn much from them. We should have learned a lot from ourselves over the last couple of years because we've been pretty young, and we've always stressed great off-season development, working together as much as we can to develop rhythm. I think that's one of our biggest things we need to do, and it's not easy to do. The guys like to come in on their own time here and there, but to be able to come in with a group of guys and sacrifice your own personal time a little bit for the rhythm and sake of the team is what we strongly recommend here in Raptor Land.